Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I've been on here. I know my brother's been doing some of his filming and stuff, and bear with him, he's fairly new. We're both new at this, so I know the videos aren't the greatest, but we're working towards getting better at them. I haven't really had time to get on here and make a video, been super busy. I've actually changed jobs from Rick Hendrick Chevrolet to now Gateway Classic Cars, so now I am there. Today the video is going to be about replacing the dash pad. The upper dash pad on this car, it is cracked and beat up pretty bad. I found another one for 300 bucks. It's in like mint condition. So we're going to be pulling that old one out, putting the new one in, and I'm going to get straight to the point with these videos because I don't want it to drag on and drag on. So we're going to get right to that process of putting the dash pad in. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, and if you can, hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you very much. All right, have a good day, guys. All right, guys, here's the dash pad. As you can see, it's in pretty good shape. There's no cracks. Still has some flex to it. It's not dry where it's going to crack or bust real easy. This is a really clean dash pad. It's an original dash pad. It's not a remand or a brand new one. It came out of a wrecked Camaro. So we're going to go on and get ready to install this into the Trans Am. So let's get started on that. All right, guys, first things we're going to have to do is we're going to have to remove these side panels here. Well, actually, probably need to remove this carpet. All right, guys, before you do anything, take these screws out right here on the end. You have to lift the T-top up. We'll pull these screws out. I believe these are going to be the only screws that we'll have to take out. Sit those right there. Boom. Perfect. Easy and perfect. Let's sit these right back here so it don't get broke. Let me grab my screwdriver, drop that T-top back in. We'll go over here. Also, guys, if you're gonna do this, make sure you lock the T-tops. Apparently that's a pretty common thing that people leave them unlatched and they blow away. So make sure when you get done doing these that you lock it back. Let's take those screws out there. Put them there. Pop that one out like that. Like so. Slide that right there. All right. Now, this dash is pretty busted. So I'm not too worried about it breaking on me. You got your sensor here, the little light for your security system. Go on and just pull that out. As you can see, this one's falling apart on me. Pretty janky. Now, one thing that you do want to make sure before you go putting the new one in, which I should have probably been a little bit more careful with. As you can see, guys, these clips here are broke off. So more than likely, they're still stuck inside the car. You want to make sure that you get the Velcro. If it's stuck there, you want to make sure that if these clips are broke off in there, because if you put the new one in and you go starting to try to push it down in there, you'll break your good clips. So you want to make sure that these aren't still stuck. I'm missing a couple of Velcro, so we're gonna go back up here, move my screwdriver so I don't puncture my seat. That piece of shit dash. All right, guys, let me see if I can't adjust a little bit here so you guys can see. There's one of the Velcros there. As you guys can see, I've got another one up here. And another one over here. There's some broken pieces of dash. Make sure you get that, guys, because you don't want that rattling. Had 2 more stuck there. Like we got 1, 2, 3, and that's the only thing wrong with mine is one of the clips were broke on the driver's side right there. Ain't no big deal. If one of the ones are stuck in there, I might be able to JB weld. You got a pair of pliers here. See if I can't pull these out. I can't tell if those are supposed to be there for the middle clips to lock into. So guys, that's what I'm seeing in there. It looks identical to those, so those gotta pull out. I gotta pull those out. Make sure, I just saw that, so I'm glad I pulled that out. Make sure I got 2 out on this side. So looks like 1, 2, there's a total of 1, 2, 3, there's 4 total. Gotten 2 out on that side. Yeah guys, be careful. Working on cars, fun. See right here guys, that is what you want to make sure that you get out before you start trying to put the new one in, because you don't want to break your new tabs. That was one thing that you should always do. Get that piece of plastic there. The last one here. All right guys, I got all those pulled out, got everything cleaned. We're ready to go in with the new. This is where I'm a little nervous because it was a tight fit even getting that broken one out. All right guys, I got it in here. Biggest thing you gotta do is just be careful. Do not drag it on the dash as you're trying to finesse it in there. You do not want to take a chance of breaking the dash or any of the clips. And I do not see how to get this in. Alright, yeah, you just want to put one corner in. Let's not forget our light. All right, guys, just coming over here to make sure the holes line up on this side. Push on it, not too hard to where you're gonna crack it, but you definitely want the Velcro to do its job. Okay, looks good other than my nasty crack here. Do not put a GoPro mount. Guys, that was the dumbest thing that I probably could have done. Fucked up the dash, but eventually down the road, I was going to have this wrapped, this portion here, wrapped in leather or some sort of vinyl. I was going to take it to an upholstery shop. They do make some dash, it's like Bondo for dash. You can put it on there, you could have sanded it down and re-dye it and retexture it. It would have more than likely, you know, I can fix that. It's not a big deal, but it does look ugly. But man, that dash pad looks good up in there. Should have done that a long time ago. I've had this dash pad for a while, just been lazy. Let's put this back on here. Let's run it back down on there. Slide this out of the way. Like that. Clips pops in. Perfect. I just gotta put the screws back in. What did I do with my screwdriver? I don't see it. There it goes. Slide back in. It's fairly easy. It's taken me maybe 10 minutes, maybe. Not long at all. And there's a groove over here. You slide that back on over the dash. Push it. Make sure that's there. Only two imperfections on this dash is here and here. I know this car was a Florida car, so I think the dash is just kind of like shriveled up and shrunk. It's just kind of part of these cars, man. They just, the plastic and stuff they used in it was shitty. My door panels have the cracks in it. That's a bad thing with these 90s cars. The interiors were not the greatest. Everything fucking rattles and the plastics cracks and bust on. I mean, my 2011 Silverado, I mean, when I went to trade it in, the dash was cracking and falling apart on it. GM back in the 90s and 2000s, they just used shitty plastic. But it looks a lot better. Dash pad looks great in there, matches, everything's the same color. Just have that right there. But I have one thing that I might be able to use to fix that. I ordered this off of, I can't remember the website, but it said it was 4 Trans Ams, but it doesn't fit the dash perfect. But I was thinking, you know, maybe some heat, if I could mold that a little better. It hangs off the back a little bit. That's the only shitty thing about it. You know, if you can move it back like that right there and cover up, you could have you a gauge pod with some extra gauges and it would cover up that crack. But I'm not sure. I might just end up going with the actual, just fixing it with that epoxy Bondo type stuff, and then just re-dye it, or have the dash wrapped, one of the two. But this is just gonna slowly get worse if I don't get it fixed. But with that being said, guys, that's a wrap on that. On to the next thing.